everyone, welcome to Love to Create by Tonya. Today I'm going to be working on neutral Valentine's Day DIYs. Let's go ahead and jump into DIY number 1. For this design, I'm going to be using 3 of these wood boxes from Target Dollar Spot. And then I'm going to be taking one of those wood hearts that you can get in the Crafter Square section at Dollar Tree and just setting that on top. Now I had these stencils in my craft supply box and I'm going to use those. I'm wanting this design to be where I can take everything off of it and use it for something else if I like to. Now the first thing I'm going to do is take some of that cottage white chalk paint, and I'm only going to paint the front side of these boxes, and I'm going to be using some removable vinyl. I'll try to include that process in some of my upcoming DIYs. I'm still learning myself how to use my Cricut maker. Now I did end up putting a couple coats of the chalk paint on here just to make it cover really well, and then I just wanted to take my sanding block and just age the top of it a little bit and scuff up around the edges. But this was a really fun and simple design, and like I said before in my previous videos, I'm wanting to do more of these simple designs that are just really easy to put together, and I would like them to have multiple uses. And on the back side of this, of course, I'm probably going to turn that around and put some kind of cute little bunnies or vases or something in the back side of it, and that way I've got multiple uses out of my boxes. Now, as you guys know, if you've been following me a while, I absolutely love the neutrals, and I've been doing a lot with that. I'm not going to say that I won't pull some color back into my decor. It's just right now I'm really loving the whole neutral color theme, and I'm going to stick with that for a while. And here's another thing, these stickers, I just love how you can just pop these on here, and then if you wanted to change your color out like I was saying, that would be really easy to do so, because you could just peel these right off and change it out and use your heart for different seasons. Now here I am, I just went ahead and showed you the last one that I was put on here. Now this is a saying that my daughter and I use a lot, love you more, and I just love that. I think that's just a sweet little saying, love you more. Now mentioning Target Dollar Spot, I don't actually live close to one, but my daughter does, and she stops by for me, and at the end of this video I am going to show you a few things that she picked up for me just a couple days ago. Now for DIY number 2, I'm going to be taking some of those hearts that are in the packet, they're the wood hearts from Dollar Tree, and we're going to make just this really neat little heart tower. Now the box setting back there is the one that had the insert that had the little heart cut out. I had actually already put this together, and I should have saved that for you, but I didn't. I apologize. But I'm going to take some of my Waverly Antique Wax, and I put this on pretty thick because I wanted it to kind of have that darker contrast going with the green and the white and that tan color that I'm using for these hearts. But I love this one. Once again, it was a really, really simple design, and it was so easy to pop together. And I will say that I have been using that Gorilla Glue, and I love the Gorilla Hot Glue, and it just holds really well. Now these are some of the little vases that my daughter had picked up in a previous stop at Target Dollar Spot for me, and I thought that I would just kind of pop them up there on the fireplace. And if I haven't mentioned that yet, I'm actually going to be decorating my fireplace mantle with all of the decor today. And so stick around. I definitely want you to see how all of that turns out. Well, everyone, I would like to thank you once again for subscribing to my channel and helping me reach my 3,000 goal of subscribers. And I did announce the winner, and it was on my community post, and that was Rochelle Craig, and she will be getting her package mailed out here soon. And I'll be doing another giveaway when we can get to the 4,000 subscribers. But everyone, look at this. Look how cute this is turning out. And it was such a fun way. And I'm just going to go ahead and share it with you because I don't know if you're seeing it, but all of those neat little wood pieces at Dollar Tree, I would love to do the bunnies like this. And I think you could just go crazy with all of these different little wood slice pieces and make these cute little towers. Now, I usually use the rope or twine for this, and I decided since I had that white yarn that I purchased at Dollar Tree, I'm just going to take that and wrap that right around the box to have that little string effect going around there, and then put a simple little bow. Now you can see that little makeup paddle down there at the bottom. I did buy several of those, and I'm definitely going to be including some of those in a giveaway, and I may do another giveaway before I reach the 4,000, and I would like that to be on craft supplies that I like to use, and that way I can share those with you. Now I'm just going to put that little tiny bow at the top to cover up that hole, and there we go. I love how this one turned out. Now I am bringing a little fabric in on this next one, and this is my love sign shelf decor, and I'm just going to take one of those little, I think it's like a cardboard sign from Dollar Tree that I had from the fall decor, and I'm just going to take this piece of fabric that I believe I picked this up at Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to glue this around. And like I said, I didn't worry too much about dressing up the back of this one because I knew this was just going to be something I was going to use for my own home. I would have made it a little bit neater on the back if it was something I would think about selling, but I'm just going to hot glue that down, and then I actually just tie those ends together with some of that yarn and just tuck them right down in there. And like I said, everyone, it's so simple, and that's what I'm really working toward this year, is trying to do some really fun and simple DIYs. Now for the love sign laying there at the top, I'm going to be using that Waverly Antique Wax, and I'm going to do the same thing. I wanted to stain it kind of the darker, richer tone. And then I took my sanding block to this while it was still just a little bit wet. And I am so glad I did that. Keep that in mind. Because of it still being wet and not completely dried, I love how it ended up pulling it off. And I did hit it with the blow dryer, but it still was not completely dry. And I love how it just kind of pulled some of that stain off of there. Well, everyone, I will mention, I did have that in the community post where I was asking you the type of things that you would like to see me create. And I noticed that we're still going with Dollar Tree, of course, which that is great. And then a lot of you had chose the wood items. And that is something that I'm definitely going to keep doing more of, is some of these wood items. And actually, Dollar Tree has a lot of wood items that we can create things with. And you can see I tied that little bit of white string around the sides there. Now this was my favorite. This was the Cupid Arrows, and love how this one turned out. And I decided to take my pumpkin to cut out the arrow tips. And the reason why I did that on this design is I thought that you could just cut that pumpkin in half and make a shorter pumpkin for the fall. And that way I wasn't wasting any of my supplies. But this was a really fun one. I can't remember if I had picked up that glass jar from Dollar Tree. I don't know if they have them that big. I don't think they do. I think I actually got this one at the Restore. And mentioning the Restore, I am going to, whenever our weather clears up, we had got a terrible snowstorm and we still got quite a bit of snow on the ground. I want to get out and do some more of the hauls and take you on some shop with me. And I haven't forgot that I also want to share with you some of my organizing tips, and I'll be trying to get that going here in the upcoming month, and maybe a few of them, well, probably the upcoming month. I think I'm going to try to finish out with some of these DIYs. Now, these were some of those skewers. They're the long ones that they come in a pack at Dollar Tree, and I think they're for like roasting marshmallows. But these were perfect to make these arrows. And you can see when you get to the end how I decorated the fireplace. It was very subtle. I like how the colors were there, but yet they kind of blended. And I just love the neutral decor. Now this is that nautical rope. And I'm just taking and separating this. And I'm just going to shape this out to be the top of my arrow. And I end up just taking one of those little white paper bags and just gluing this down to it. And that kind of give me something for it to adhere to help the rope stand up on the arrow. So that worked out really great. And if you guys haven't seen those little green mats, sometimes during the spring too, they put those out, and those are really handy to have. Well, everyone, I hope you're enjoying today's DIYs, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I hope that you consider doing so. And if you are a subscriber, I thank you so much for your support. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. That's a place that you can see upcoming DIYs. And also, if you would like to buy me a coffee, I do have a Ko-fi link in my description, and also at the top of my channel in the About Me. And I would really appreciate any support that you would like to give. And you can also support my channel just by hitting that like button and the subscribe button and sharing my videos with your friends. Well, everyone, you can see now I'm just going to go ahead and finish up painting the top of this. And then I'm going to add some greenery and just some of those little fairy lights in there. And I really wanted that painted white at the top because my fireplace mantle is kind of like that fake stone look. And anything I can pull in white just stands out really well. Now I decided just to take some of this burlap ribbon that I had and wrap that around at the bottom of where I painted it white, and then I'm going to use that yarn again and just wrap a little bit around there to make it look like the rope or the twine going around there. And then I'm going to add my arrows that I made and some of my greenery. I don't actually add the lights on until I actually get it up on the fireplace. But once again, another really fun and simple design. And this is one of my favorite ways to decorate for Valentine's Day. I love doing something with those little Cupid arrows. I just think that's a really neat, kind of primitive and a good little farmhouse decor look for Valentine's Day. Now for DIY number 5, I'm just going to do this heart trio wall art. And I took 3 of those wood hearts from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to go ahead and fill in those holes at the top with some of that Dollar Tree putty. And I love that stuff. It's so light and fluffy, and it works so well. And I'll leave a link in the description below of all the paint colors that I use for these designs. Now I was going to leave these just plain with the color on there, the green, the white, and the beige, but I decided to take some of this greenery vine, and I purchased it on Amazon. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. And I wrapped it around like all 3 of the hearts, and kind of the same effect as when I was wrapping the heart in a previous video, and then I added some yarn and done the same thing. I like it both ways, and my fireplace, the background is that rock, so it seems like adding any little bit of extra color makes everything stand out a little bit better. So that was the main reason that I did that. But it looks really pretty either way, and this little trio put together like this, I mean, you could paint it any color that you like. It would look really good in the pinks and the reds and the blues and the whites. I just like the whole simplicity of this design, just gluing 3 of these together and making a nice, decent sized piece of wall art. Well, everyone, I hope you are enjoying today's DIYs again, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and definitely leave me a comment. And also, if you would like to leave a comment on this video of some of the other things that you would like to see created on my channel, yeah, drop that in the comments below also. And let me know, where are you at with the DIYs right now? I am still kind of torn because we're getting so much snow and doing just a little bit, you know, of the winter. And of course, I love the Valentine's Day that you can kind of do and make them where they can go right straight into spring. So, but I don't know. I love Easter too, and that's one of my favorite ones, doing all of the Easter. And I love the bunnies, and I think I'm going to do some really fun things with some of these ceramic bunnies that I have found at the Restore and Goodwill. And I think that is going to be a really fun video to do. So I'm excited, and I hope you look forward to that one coming up. And you can see I'm just taking this greenery vine. This is a great deal on this. You get so much of this. And I think it was maybe $8 and something. Like I said, I'll have a link in the description on that from Amazon. And there's one of those handy little tools that we can find in the makeup section at Dollar Tree. I did buy several of those because I wanted to be able to put some in a giveaway for you guys. And I kind of liked it just like that with just the greenery. But since I had already been using that white yarn that I picked up at Dollar Tree, I decided to go ahead and just wrap a little bit of that yarn around there just for fun. You'll have to let me know which ones you like the best, wrapped with the greenery and yarn, or just leave them plain and simple. Or if you have another idea that we could do to this trio that would make it look really fun. Well, everyone, I will try to do some more shop with me and haul videos. I'm wanting to get out. We still have quite a bit of snow, like I said, so I'm hoping to get out and do a little bit more. And don't forget, I hope you're still with me, because at the end of this video, I'm going to show you those few things that my daughter had picked up for me at the Target dollar spot. And I think I got a couple more items in there. Maybe, I think there was a little heart I had found at Dollar General, and I think there was some things from Big Lots that were marked down really, really cheap that were a really good find. And I'm just taking some of that rope, and I was using all the items that I had on hand. And here's how our heart trio wall art piece turned out, and it looks really good. I've got it placed up on a board that I had created. Now for these little vases, I'm just going to take and wrap them really quick in this yarn, and then I'm going to take some of this greenery that I had purchased. I think I found it either at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. Both of them have some really pretty, but you could also use greenery. They're getting quite a bit in now from Dollar Tree. Well, everyone, we're about done with these DIYs. I hope you did enjoy the neutral Valentine DIY decor. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I hope you consider doing so. And if you are a subscriber, I thank you once again so much for your support. And here's a video of how I displayed everything on my fireplace. And after this video, I'm gonna have that little mini haul.